such that they can improve their luck. Now, I'm going to ask you, how do you spell luck from where you come from, Anjali?
Luck.
Wow, that is labor under correct knowledge.
Oh, wow.
So now most of us are good, and and I found the ones that we trained and got into this EQ mindset, what happened is when they went abroad, they spiraled up the ladder faster because their interactive skills are up, their rapport building skills are up, they were enthusiastic, they weren't the bore old little guy who was behind the IT, laptop or whatever they're doing. They were enthused about wanting to come up in life.
Right.
And that's exactly what Henry Ford did. Henry Ford, the founder of our automobile industry, not the founder of Ford Company, the founder of our automobile industry, made this one request of his team. If you look back, before Henry Ford invented the first car, there were no cars out in the road.
Right.
Hence, if you're looking for an expert as a mechanic, there was none in the road. If you're looking for an auto electrician, there was none in the road. Now, his requirement to select employees was this. He said, give me one person with enthusiasm and I will deliver an empire.
Right.
He did. He delivered the automobile empire. His whole selection force was just enthusiastic people who had the eagerness to learn. That's why I keep saying, people, you have the potential inside of you. You just need somebody to tweak it for you, right? And you can see it. Now, the last 3 days, I've been working from here with Zoom calls into Dubai and to South Africa, doing the same thing that I'm doing here, Anjali, with you. And most of them are coming up and saying, David, why don't we have this in our country?
Actually, yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
It's as simple as cooking rice. Pour some water, pour some rice, and boil it.
But in the correct measure.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, you get a porridge.
Yes, of course.
Exactly, actually. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. Wonderful. So what's the remedy to step up this game?
Very simple. That's exactly what I touched on earlier. Each individual have to sit down and look at where they are in life.
Okay.
And be very honest with themselves. And I'm going to use, I beg your forgiveness, I'm going to probably use a little bit of a bad word here. Do not BS themselves in this fraternity. Meaning, like what they would always bluff their way through, do not do that. Take a reality stock take. When you take a reality stock take, you then will understand there is a lot of strengths and there are a lot of weaknesses.
Yes.
Identify it. And then go through the process of sourcing some guidance and help from people who are the experts. Do not try to fix it yourself.
Okay.
Now, why do I say that? If you had a heart issue, let me ask you a question. If you had a heart issue, touch wood, we don't. If we had a heart issue, who would we go and see?
I would definitely go to, or anyone would definitely go to a heart specialist.
A cardiologist, a heart specialist. Yes. You would not go to a driver or a taxi man or a person on the street and say, hey, listen, man, I've got a heart problem. Can you cut my chest up and have a look at it? You won't do that, right?
Right.
Now what happens with us? What happens with us is, that is with our health. What happens with us is, when it comes to us realizing what I just explained earlier, we are happy to go and ask our closest friend, our closest neighbor, and say, hey, listen, mine, I have a problem with my finance. I need to have another 10,000. Can you figure it out how I can do it? Now, if that individual is a friend of yours, most of the friends are of the same tier level.
Right.
In not just intelligence, but in earning capacity and all of that. So if you are earning, let's say $100,000, 100,000 rupees, I should say, 1 lakh rupees. Your friend would obviously be earning the same sort of money. Now, can he teach you how to make 10 lakhs?
No.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to get people to understand. Go find a person who's making 10 lakhs and source his advice, like we source the advice of a cardiologist.
Yes.
And that's the point I'm making to people. Find a person who has got more experience, source his help, and role model that person. So the whole process here is for us to identify our weaknesses and then role model that with people that we can connect with and build rapport and learn from them.
Right.
Sometimes you have to pay for it, like anything. Pay for it, because that knowledge has been acquired by that individual over a long period of time, and he needs to be remunerated for whatever it is, whether it's in the form of a coach or whoever. So take stock of it. Knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is what makes you wealthy.
Very true. You're absolutely right. So I just come up with my next question, David. I would like to know, okay, we are ready to pay the money. We are ready to hire someone who's really good and would be able to make us reach our destination. But the question remains, which is one common question. How do we look out for these people? We have some
Excellent.
known names, but then
Yes.
there are so many other coaches, trainers, consultants who keep on just orchestrating that we are the best and we do not know
Right.
where to go. We are in front of so many people and
Right.
all of them say we are good.
Let
How do we figure
I
this out?
I
How do we
fully
figure out the right
yeah.
coach?
I fully concur with you on this, especially since March the 22nd or 23rd when we got this lockdown. Okay.
Yeah.
Not only here, but around the globe. Everybody has fluxed into these online webinars and online coaching and online this. Now, the job of the individual looking for that knowledge, like you would go before you select a washing machine or before you select a car, you would do an assessment on it.
Right.
You would go to an electrical shop, check out, you'll check with some of your peers, friends, what sort of washing machine is good, and do a reality test on it. And then you will go and look at which is good for you based on your need. Do
Yes.
not go beyond your need, based on your need. The same analysis needs to be done here.
Okay.
And the way to do that is very simple. Scout around for 4 or 5 of these people, explain and see what they come out and approach you with. Some of them don't go to the scrutiny of checking what your need is. They will come and say, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. And what they're trying to do is put a round peg in a square hole.
Ah, yes, absolutely. This is what happens.
Exactly. And it'll never fit. So the reality test of that is not the coach, is you. You are now selecting the coach. So when you have predefined your needs, you then wait to see what he says. And if it fulfills need 1, need 3, need 7, you tick it.
Okay.
Check with a second person. Check with a third person. That way, go through 5 of these guys and you'll be able to siphon out. Sometimes you can get rid of all 5 of them and find another batch of 5.
Oh,
Or you might find 1 out of the 5. Not every man is an expert. I'm not saying I'm an expert in all areas of coaching. I know I'm good. In fact, I'm excellent, but I'm only domain expertise in certain areas that I want to make sure I can fulfill the job. I don't want the world. I have an objective, 1 million people, and that's whom I'm working with. And I only work with people that I connect with, I have a rapport with. So a lot of my clients, I have not accepted them because on day one itself, I knew chemistry was not right.
right.
So if your chemistry with your coach is not right, you just reject it. Don't take it on. Does that make sense?
Of course it does. Now, guys, my viewers, my dear viewers, you know whom to reach out and what is the way to look out for the right coach. I know we are like surrounded with so many coaches every now and then, whether we are a trainer, speaker, coach, consultant, we're surrounded by so many of these people and we do not know where to look to. Everybody is approaching us with the one product or the second product, one service or the second service. Now, David has given us an insight, and I really believe which I would be personally following this for myself. And of course, who is the other person to go to? We have David with us himself. You have been listening to him. You must have understood what he intends to do when he would like to influence the lives of so many people. You can also be one of them. I thank you so much, David, for coming on our show, sharing your views with us. I once again would like to thank David for his presence and the wonderful share that he has shared with us today. Thank you so much, David, once again.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Anjali, to have me on board.
All
Guys, have a
right.
fantastic week and happy Diwali too.